as I mentioned in my earlier post, I found out that one of my major league has been playing jack pocket jacks at early position. So I actually reviewed some of my hands and I found that there are some hands which I can play better. For example, for this hand, I have jack pair under the gun plus one. So I made my usual min raise. Okay, so everyone folds to the big blind, who actually call my min raise. Okay, so the flop is actually very bad for me. So this big blind check, and I check because I think I want to get to the showdown as cheaply as possible. So the turn card is a 10. Okay, so it is not a very good card for me as well because it could have complete his straight if he has any. And he actually bets out here, and by right, I should have just give up and folded my jack pair because there are so many hands and so many cards that can beat me. But I played quite badly here, so I just re-raise him, and unfortunately he does have a ace, and I go on and lose the hand. So this is one particular hand which I think I should have played much better. Okay, the next game, again I made my min raise as I always do for any kinds of card that I want to play, which is just a minimum raise. So there's actually a very good regular who actually re-raised me here. This is a regular who stacks his I think tells me that he's a very tight player, and his percentage for 3-bet is about 2% if I'm not wrong. Okay, so he actually 3-bet me, and I should have known that he does have a very monster hand. So okay, calling is not that bad because if you keep folding whenever anyone actually 3-bets you, then I think in the future all my future opponent will be more likely to 3-bet me light if they actually see me folding to a 3-bet very often. So I think calling is a good option here. And this flop seems to be pretty harmless, but I'm sure he does have a very strong hand. It could be in the range of high pocket pairs or premium hands like ace king. I don't think he's going to 3-bet with ace queen. Most likely high cut pocket pairs or maybe ace king. So I check because I just want to get to the showdown as cheaply as possible. He checks as well. So when he checks, maybe I think he might have missed the flop. Okay, so the turn card is quite a harmless card. So I just bet out here 500 chips, and he actually re-raised all in here. Now, given that this player is a very tight player, this kind of play would normally mean a very strong hand. Okay, maybe at times maybe a stone cold bluff, but most of the time he has a very good hand. So I should have just folded here, but instead I actually call this all in because I thought I still have chips left, and I'm not out of the tournament. And he shows ace pair, so he goes on and takes the pot. This one hand which I think I should have just folded after he actually after he actually re-raised me at the turn. So this is something that I'll bear in mind whenever I play opponent like him, who's very tight and who doesn't really 3-bet very often. Okay, but I think this is a very good play by this guy here. Okay, he outplayed me in this hand, and I'll take note of this in the future when I actually play him again. The next hand is quite an interesting hand as well, because I'm not very sure if there's any way I can actually avoid this. So I min raise again, and there are actually 3 callers. So the flop seems to be quite harmless. There's a paired king on the board, as well as a very low cut. So I wanted to find out whether my hand is good enough, so I just bet out. This guy fold, and there's a caller, okay, who is a calling station, as you can see. Now from his stats, he the statistic actually tells me that he's a calling station. So when he calls me, I thought he's just calling me with something that is not a monster hand. Or another possible reason would be he has a king and he's trying to slow play me. So I'm not very sure about this. So the turn card is quite harmless. So I choose to check after him, because if he's trying to slow play me, then I'm drawing dead, unless of course I hit my 2 of the on the river. And the river is a 5, another blank, or it seems to be like a blank to me. But this calling station actually raise all in here. So now when a calling station raise all in here, I would normally believe that he has a monster hand, but based on this kind of texture, I'm not very sure if yeah, maybe I should have just folded, because he's a calling station. He raised all in at the river, so most likely has the nuts or close to the nuts. Well, I only have a jack pair, but I call his all in, and I go on and lose the pot. So on hindsight, I should have maybe folded, but it's very hard to say. Sometimes I got the read on my opponent correctly, but sometimes I don't. There are also some hand which I think I couldn't avoid losing. For example, I have jack pair, under the gun +1, so there's a caller, and I actually re-raise this bet here. So there's another person who actually re-raise all in here. Now this 3-3 B Jones is quite a weak player. I've played with him a couple of times, and I remember his stats actually shows that he actually likes to 3-bet a lot. So I just go all in here, which is the correct play against this kind of overly aggressive player who likes to 3-bet a lot. But unfortunately here, he does have a monster hand, which is ace pair. So it's quite a cooler, but I think I played very well here. There's no way for me to know that he has a monster hand, because he has been playing very aggressively, 3-betting very lightly. So I think I made the correct play, but sometimes variants just say that okay, you need to lose some hands like this. Okay, another hand is some other hand which I think is unavoidable. Okay, I mean raise under the gun. There's another person who actually call all in, and because of the high blind here, I think I have to call, because at this stage here, many people is going to 3-bet very lightly, for example with hands like ace king, ace queen, ace jack. So I call, and unfortunately he has king pair. So this is another hand which I think I can't avoid losing, but I think I played correctly.